Prince Andrew's perfect excuse to miss Christmas celebrations at Sandringham. Prince Andrew could be set to spend Christmas at the Sandringham estate, but, according to one expert, he would have the perfect excuse to miss out. Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson's grandchildren are a perfect excuse for them to skip the festive celebrations at the Sandringham estate, a royal expert has claimed. Their two daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, both have partners and children of their own. Married to Jack Brooksbank, Eugenie, 34, is mum to August, 3, and 1-year-old Ernest. As well as being stepmother to 8-year-old Wolfie, Beatrice, 36, shares 3-year-old Sienna with her husband Edoardo Mapelli Mozzi. Hello viewers, please remember to subscribe and click on the notifications bell icon, so you will be notified whenever we upload new cookies about the British royal family. King Charles is set to welcome his family to the Sandringham estate for another year of festive celebrations, but, according to royal expert Jennie Bond, the house could be too full with extended members as the family grows further. Speaking to OK, Ms. Bond said, "As families expand, life gets more complicated. And the Yorks now have 2 sons-in-law and 4 grandchildren to consider. So it is beginning to become untenable to have the whole extended royal family under one roof at Sandringham, especially with Camilla's family to consider as well. The king will undoubtedly extend an invite to his brother and his family," with the expert adding, "Charles is not a vindictive man. Far from it, and whatever has gone on between the brothers, I think he will always extend an invitation for Andrew and his family to share big family occasions." Explaining that it could be easier for Andrew and Sarah to do their own celebrations, she added, "But Andrew's own growing family will give him and Sarah the perfect reason to avoid Sandringham and surround themselves with their daughters and little ones." Beatrice and Eugenie are very protective of both their parents. And you can't help but think that life would be easier all round if the Yorks began to stage their own festivities at Christmas. Although the Duke of York and Sarah currently have 4 grandchildren to consider for Christmas, next year will include another member as Beatrice is set to welcome her second child in early 2025. The mum of one announced her pregnancy earlier this year. Sarah referring to her experience as a grandmother as "one of the greatest privileges of my life" in a past Instagram post. The Prince and Princess of Wales, along with their 3 children, are confirmed to be attending the celebrations in Sandringham. According to the Mirror, one insider claimed that the king is looking forward to spending Christmas with his family. They said, "The king is embracing the Christmas period already and really getting into the spirit." Staff who have seen him this week remarked how happy and healthy he was looking. Prince Andrew's Royal Lodge saga takes new twist as Bill's pair could be shock figure. The Duke of York and King Charles have been embroiled in a months-long feud about him occupying Royal Lodge, but one expert suggests that there is more than meets the eye with the situation. The saga surrounding Prince Andrew and Royal Lodge has taken a new twist as reports have claimed that the mystery benefactor paying his bills could be someone close to his heart. It has been claimed that King Charles has demanded his brother downgrade and move into Frogmore Cottage. He was said to have cut off the Duke of York from the royal purse in a bid to starve him out of the lavish property in the grounds of Windsor Castle. Upkeep of the property is reported to cost about £400,000 to repair, renew, uphold and where necessary rebuild it. Last month, it was reported that King Charles had stopped paying Andrew's personal allowance of more than £1 million a year as well as his £3 million security bill. But Andrew was set to dig deep and pay for these bills himself, as well as maintenance of Royal Lodge which he was given occupancy of by the late Queen Elizabeth. Mystery surrounded how he was paying for this since he was no longer a working royal, with some of his wealthy friends pegged as potentially loaning him money. But the Daily Mail reports that it could in fact be a double bluff by the monarch and that he himself is secretly funding Andrew's lifestyle out of his own personal pocket. Charlotte Griffiths claimed that rumors surrounding the battle for Royal Lodge suggested that Charles had been gentler with his brother than reports suggested. She wrote, "Wealthy names from the Middle East to the Russian steppes have been in the frame. But now I can reveal there are some in aristocratic circles who believe the prince's secret patron is someone far closer to home. In fact, he may own a rather grand property right next door Windsor Castle. They suspect the eviction threat is an elaborate double bluff by the king. I have heard from multiple sources that, far from cutting Andrew off, Charles has personally cleared his errant brother's bills for his upkeep and promised his Royal Lodge woes are taken care of, enabling him to stay there for the foreseeable future." She quoted a source who told her that he, Andrew, just doesn't have that many friends anymore. He barely goes out. He's not that welcome anywhere. So it's got to be family, and the obvious person is the king. I mean, why would anybody who's not family want to give him money when they're not going to get anything out of it except a lot of flack? It was suggested that King Charles was using his own private funding for this endeavor and not from the public purse. Ms. Griffiths outlined two different reasons for this generosity: keeping his brother on side and also to ensure that Royal Lodge doesn't crumble due to lack of maintenance. She added, "If my sources are to be believed, and Charles has taken personal financial responsibility for these lesser sums, it would be a double bluff worthy of a Le Carre novel. We may never know the truth, but royal watchers will shortly be able to gauge relations between the brothers." On Christmas Day there will be the traditional walk on the Norfolk estate. If Andrew is present at the invitation of the king, we can assume that blue blood, of course, is proving thicker than water. Prince Andrew's daughters come up with a plan to keep their father's spirits high. Prince Andrew's daughters have come up with an agreement in a bid to keep their disgraced father's spirits high. Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie have decided to take turns taking their children to spend time with the Duke of York in order to help combat their father's feelings of loneliness, a source has claimed. 5 years after his disastrous Newsnight interview marked the end of his public duties, Prince Andrew has established a new and isolated routine at Royal Lodge, his 30-bedroom residence on the Windsor estate. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and drop comments. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything.